Here is the short version of the last 7 months. Happily married. No kids, both professionals. My job requires a good bit of travel, which is not a big deal since her job forces her to work 80+ hours a week. We are both very busy, but her much more than myself. A few things didn't add up last September, so based on the advice on Reddit, the investigating began. It took me a long time to figure out what was going on because she was excellent at covering her tracks. Around November, all of the pieces came together and outside help was brought in to help me get all my ducks in a row. An attorney was hired and so was a private eye. In January, everything was confirmed 100% by the PI, and that was all the proof that I needed. After much thought, today is the day that everything ends. I have been planning it since the visual confirmation earlier this year. She is being served at her office today at 4 p.m. Based on conversations she has had with me and conversations she has been having with the other guy, there is no way she has any idea that this is coming from me. It will be a shock, but certainly not a surprise. The divorce will be very simple since we earn about the same amount of money and don't have a ton of stuff. The truck is in front of the house and it is now loaded. I am moving out of state. It doesn't matter where I live since I am in sales and my territory is half of the United States. The furniture that is going with me are the pieces that were given to me by my family when we married. She can have everything else and she is going to be keeping 3/4 of it anyway. I am driving the truck myself and can't wait to get to my new condo and start a brand new life. My last 6 months have been pure hell. Here is the question, and I think I already know the answer, but would love to hear your opinions. Her other guy is a co-worker at the law firm. He is early 50s with a wife and 3 daughters. They don't appear to work in the same department, and he is not her boss. By all appearances, he has a great family and a great life. Do I contact his wife as I am leaving town? Would you want to know? Am I just being spiteful? Edit, she got the papers. Phone calls and texts non-stop for the last 15 or so minutes. Her sister and mother have phoned me as well. I have not responded to any of them. Also, I am moving from a large city in the Northeast to Florida, trying to get to South Carolina tonight, and then to my final stop tomorrow. I am stopping for gas and coffee right now, and I really appreciate all of the kind words. Edit #2. I am still on the road, but getting closer to my new home. Last night was very interesting. I did not speak with her or text her. I did speak on the phone with my mother and her sister. My words were very careful and thought out to her sister, as I would expect her to hang up the phone with me and tell her everything. Talking to my mom was not easy. It is a humiliating situation to discuss with your family. My mom gave me 100% support and is coming to visit me next weekend at my new place. Moms are the best. I will get settled in and update everything in a couple of days. I have decided to not contact the boyfriend's wife. I could change my mind down the road, but for now, no contact with her is planned. Looking forward to starting new. Wife 44 female cheated. I 45 male filed for divorce when I found out, and she tried to kill herself on New Year's Eve. The STBXW and I were together for over 25 years, 22 of those married. Prior to this, there were no infidelities or large problems. We have 4 children, a pair of twins, boy and girl 20 years old, a son that's 19, and our youngest daughter is 15. I filed for divorce mid-December and had her move out of our home and back with her parents. Got a lot of voicemail left and emails and even handwritten letters about how sorry she is about what she's done. But I never replied in any way. When it finally dawned on her I was really going through this and there was nothing she could do to stop it, she attempted suicide. In all likelihood, she would have died had her parents not stayed at home to keep an eye on her. From what I've been told, she tried to overdose on pills, but no one knows where she got them in the first place. Her infidelity apparently became fully physical only recently, but even before that she was emotionally cheating for at least a few months before that. I don't care to find out how long, since it wouldn't really help me in any way. Since it was a married man with whom she had the affair, I'd notified his wife. So he's getting divorced too. Add to that, they're co-workers, which is how they met in the first place. And I assume they used work time to start the affair. For those that are going to ask, how did you find out? The answer is I didn't. Our son and daughter, the twins, did. They saw their mother kissing with the other man in public. The place in question isn't somewhere where any of us usually pass through, and then they proceeded to inform me. I started digging around and found more than enough evidence of a prolonged affair. I don't have many deal breakers and believe that marriage is something that's a continuous work in progress. You have to do your part to keep it alive and well. But cheating is something that I absolutely will not overlook or forgive. To cheat is to take a shit on all the time you spent together, to take a dump on your shared lives. It's nothing more than selfishness, and cruelty. I'm just telling you so you can understand me a bit better. Maybe, but that's a really, really reaching maybe. I could have tried to look past this if it had been a one-time thing and she immediately came to me, contrite and remorseful. But she wasn't. I mean, she only started sobbing and bawling once she got caught, and that to me is utterly worthless. It's easy to cry once your shit is put into the spotlight. But before all this, I've never noticed anything remorseful about her or any sign of guilt. I just can't live with someone like that. Thankfully, all of the kids were supporting and understanding when I told them I was going to divorce their mother. Our youngest cried more than I did, but said I was doing the right thing for all of us. She did ask me if she could live with me. The other three already have places of their own, by their own choice, and I told her she didn't even have to ask. I think that's the best thing in this situation overall. Just having the kids there showing me not all of those years being with my wife were a waste. Whatever she's like now, I can at least be grateful for our children, if nothing else. I love them more than anything. Unfortunately, nearly everyone we know, barring the friends who were my friends before they became the families, are trying to get me to stop the divorce and talk to her, go into counseling or some other nonsense. More so after the suicide attempt. Needless to say, all those people are on my shit list and I've cut all forms of communication with them. Sadly, that includes the in-laws, whom I've really loved before all this happened, since I'm an orphan myself and saw them as the family I never had. They tried getting to me through their grandkids, which has soured them on visiting their grandparents in the near future. The kids tell me they love them, but they just can't be around them at this time because they're being so overbearing. They've also chosen to distance themselves from their mother, though they're still in touch obviously. I'm in therapy myself, going through some counseling because for all that's happened I feel nothing. When I look back at finding out about all this, I see the lack of rage and hurt is very worrying. My therapist says I've numbed myself on purpose to help me get through this easier. I don't know. Before all this, if anyone asked me how I felt about my marriage and wife, I'd probably tell them I was as happy as I could be, with a big smile on my face. Now, nothing. When I heard about the suicide attempt, you might as well have told me the weather forecast for the day. I didn't feel anything. Not for me personally, anyway. I was angry, in a way, as to what this could have done to our children. But beyond that, her trying to kill herself just doesn't get a reaction out of me. I'm not happy that she's realized how much she's ruined our lives. But I'm not feeling any sort of empathy either. I can't. It's just that I look at the situation and think yes, and how is that any concern of mine? I'm not like that. Or at least I don't think I was like that before all of this. And my therapist assures me the numbness will pass. It's part of the healing process. But here we are, more than a month later, and I still feel nothing about what happened. I'm honestly not sure if that's good or bad. I'll just have to wait and see. As to the rest of my life, the friends that stayed true to me aren't letting me spend much time alone. They understand that I do need some time for myself every now and again, but they don't want me too alone. It all seems so different now, you know. Now, my main concern here is about our kids. For now, they're keeping away from her, of their own free choice. I didn't poison them against their mother or anything of the sort. They just don't want to talk to her much at all. Our youngest has been hit the hardest by her mother's infidelity, and I've been thinking of maybe having her go for some therapy too, if we can't resolve this on our own. This is what really bothers me about the whole thing, that our children reacted so severely to their mother's infidelity. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't glad that they did react negatively to it, because it goes to show that they understand that adultery is no small matter, and that it can, like it has for us, destroy marriages and families. But I'm worried about long term. Will they get over this? Will they eventually form a tangible relationship with their mother? Will they heal? If any of you folks have been in any situation as similar as ours, please share your experiences.